off-the-rack clubs is they need to be mass-produced to something as a constant standard. And this something has been swing weighting. However, in the world of custom club fitting, the term standard no longer applies. The custom club maker has a plethora of different weight shafts and grips at their disposal, as well as the ability to custom size the clubs according to the player's height and athletic ability. Even though these so-called standard swing weights of D2, this is only going to be applied to men's standard length clubs. Women's clubs, they're made lighter, usually in the C4 to C7 range. Why? Well, the heads don't weigh any different. The only reason is because the swing weights or the lengths are an inch shorter than men's clubs. Therefore, stands to reason that if you build clubs, it doesn't matter if it's a short man or a tall woman or whatever it is, if you build clubs that are longer or shorter than the so-called standards, they should have a proportionally higher or lower swing weight. Remember that each half-inch difference in length is going to equal 3 swing weight points. Same goes for clubs with mid-size or jumbo grips that are heavier in weight. Yes, the swing weight will reduce because you have more material, but when you think about it, the head weights haven't changed. Expect the swing weights to be lower if you're using heavier weight grips than standard, or higher if you're using grips that are going to be lighter than the standard 50-gram models. As you can see from what I've shown you today, there's really nothing magical about swing weighting. It's merely a way of measuring weight distribution. And as a club maker, you determine how tightly you want to control these tolerances. Now, do we need to swing weight all the clubs the same? Well, in years past, when swing weighting started, for the most part, all clubs were swing weighted the same, except for the wedges, which might be a few points higher to allow that club to travel through the heavier grass or sand. It was pretty commonplace that the pitching wedge might be, a couple swing weights heavier than the numbered irons, and the sand wedge may be, 3 to 8 swing weights higher. But I think those days are long gone because people don't use steel shafts in their woods like they do their irons and wedges. And a set now may consist of a 60-gram driver shaft, a 75-gram fairway wood shaft, an 85-gram hybrid shaft, 105-gram steel iron shaft, 115-gram shafts in the wedges, and that doesn't even include the weight of the shaft in your putter. It's really, if the clubs fit the players, all what we're trying to work on anyway. So you decide to match the swing weights of those clubs with the like shafts, that is, like all the irons or all the fairway woods. If you can make them the same, fine. Sometimes you can't. But if you're trying to swing weight the clubs for the sake of achieving a specific D2 swing weight because that was the old standard, then you're missing the point of what swing weighting is all about, which is narrowing the tolerances of the clubs that you make. Well, that's a wrap on swing weighting. Let's turn this back over to Rob for any questions that you might have.
Yeah, that was amazing, Jeff. All your work definitely paid off here. Very thorough. Do you mind answering a couple questions, even though we're at almost at the hour mark?
Oh, no problem.
Great. Okay, Rick asks, is there a significant difference between swing weight match and MOI match?
They are and they aren't. MOI matching does the same thing, except for the position where the fulcrum point lies. We don't position our hands 14 inches down on the grip, but that's where the arbitrary swing weight scale fulcrum point lied. MOI matching is no different. It's narrowing down tolerances. What I mentioned before, that the wedges were a higher swing weight than the numbered irons, you can have graduated or incremental changes in the swing weights, like half swing weight difference between each iron, and that's going to come close to MOI matching.
All right, good. You answered this one pretty much, but I'll just give Rick a shout here. I assume woods irons and wedges are swing weighted separately, correct?
Correct.
Okay. James asks, how much swing weight will a 42-gram grip add if a 52-gram grip gives you D0?
You'll gain 2 swing weights. Remember, for every 5 grams of grip weight, every 5 grams reduction is going to be a 1 swing weight point increase. So that's going to make it 2 points higher.
Great. Bruce asks a side note, Jeff, do we have the specs on the new Profit irons yet? Those should be online, shouldn't they?
Yeah, if not, there's a link at the bottom of the page that should take you to, it's there. You might have to search for it, but the specs are the same as the Acer XK Pro that we've had success with in the past.
And I believe if you go to the website at the bottom where it says new for 2002 club heads, that'll take you to the a different page with those specs. Okay, Gary asks, talking about tip pins, I have seen OEMs, TaylorMade and Mizuno, use tip pins in most, if not all, their heads. Would you think that after a while they would achieve? You would think that after a while they would achieve the correct head weight so that the tip pins don't need to be used.
Well, again, what they're trying to do is control costs. They're allowing for some tolerances in the casting of the components. So I think Ping is probably the only club maker right now that actually, if you notice on their medallions in the back of their heads, they have different weight medallions, and they'll actually go to the effort of making sure that they swing weight using those, which is very costly and time consuming. And TaylorMade or Mizuno and all the, matter of fact, just about anybody else, they're going to take the easy way out and just use the brass or the lead tip pins or plugs or whatever they do to fine-tune them.
Okay. And you've answered this, but real quick. So the goal in swing weighting is to set the swing weight for each club at the same swing weight setting.
If they have like shafts and grips. If you've got a 48-inch driver, you have like a specialty driver that's extra long so you can get more distance, it's not going to be the magical D2 without all sorts of counterweighting and so forth. A lot of times what we're doing is we're fitting the golf clubs. We're fitting the drivers based on a demo. We're fitting another set of irons based on a demo. You may find that those 2 clubs may or may not have the same swing weight. But when you go to assemble the driver and maybe matching fairway woods, if they're not, they're standard length or whatever, you might try to match those the same. With the iron, at least the numbered irons, you try to match those the same.
Okay, Rick asks, could you provide on your website or email the formula for calculating swing weight, just for personal edification?
It's in the club making book that we sell.
Okay. Stu asks, at the time he worked, I would be interested in a short, no-scale swing weight seminar.
Okay.
Maybe just something to jot down. Brian, just a few more questions here, Jeff. So if I use the mid-sized grips, do I still shoot for D2 or should I go to D3?
Actually, just the opposite. Because they're heavier in weight, you may have to go to D0. There may be cases where, like in the wind grips that are mid-sized, they only weigh 50 grams. So you could probably go to whatever your desired swing weight was. With a lot of the ones that are heavier, like in the 62-gram range, they're naturally going to be light if